Okay. Ooh, Alyssa's here. Yay, Alyssa. I am so glad you made it. Let's see. Get all our recordings going. Do you have a visual or are you driving tonight?
Driving.
Uh-huh. How's your cow doing?
Oh, I don't know. She's still down. I don't want to put her down, but the county is now involved, so this might get complicated. They're like, "Oh, you have to have a vet out." I'm like, "Okay." So the last time I tried to actually get the vet out, it took a week to get here. So I called them this afternoon. I'm like, "So can you make a farm call?" And they're like, "Well, we can get out this afternoon." I'm like, "Well, I'm at work this afternoon. Can we try it for tomorrow?" So I don't know. We'll see. They're like, "Well, you can give her calcium and magnesium, and you can try some Epsom salt, something or other. I don't know, doused in Epsom salts." I'm like, "I guess. I don't know." So I don't know. The county just wants to make sure she's not being abused, I guess.
Oh, well,
So
if she's got food and water, and maybe the vet can give you some kind of input.
right. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm off tomorrow, so we're gonna try and give it some more time tomorrow to actually get the vet out. But it sounded like they were booked until. I mean, I made an appointment for next week, so short of them like having free time tomorrow, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just the way it goes. But
Yep. Yep. It's tough. So my icebreaker question today was, what are you most optimistic about? Because I feel like everybody's having challenges right now. Yeah. Alyssa, if you want to just keep your thing on, because I don't have a lot to lecture about tonight. So, but that was my question anyway. So, what are you most optimistic about? And everybody who watches this on the recording needs to put that in our forum. Either Mighty Networks or Messenger, either one. Because we need a shot of optimism. The spring, it just seems kind of, I don't know. I'm hearing from a lot of people that seem to be feeling overwhelmed, anxious, really tired, feeling a need to pull in boundaries, feeling over exerted, too much out there. Or Alyssa, too many people nosing in your business and you'd like to just cut their noses off and put up a wall and keep them out. I'm hearing.
at this point, I'd settle for keeping the goats in, but fair enough.
Yeah. It just seems like a lot of people are kind of in this place where it seems like chaos sort of rules the day. And it's really hard to see a clear path forward. So last week, the goal was to set your what and your why and your what and your how. And I keep hearing, yeah, but I don't know how. It's just not like it's not out there. I'm not seeing it. And it isn't just in this group. I'm hearing that all of this from a number of different people in different places. So chaos, overwhelm, fatigue just kind of seems to be something going on right now. But we don't want to stay stuck there. So I kind of wanted to call that out. And if that's where you're at, you need to lean into your resources. What are your resources? Who do you have? What do you have? You have your habits. We have the tools. This week is earlier, lighter dinner. I have no idea what questions you have because I don't know what questions you have. So, I guess to start with that, I'll tell you one thing I am working on, because I know that with all of this feeling, I mean, I'm feeling it too, so I totally get it. I am feeling the need for space, Amanda's favorite word right now, and clarity. And I'm leveraging earlier, lighter dinner as one of my tools to do that, because all of these are tools. The more that you use them, the better you'll get at being able to use them for whatever it is that you're needing to have happen in your life. So I'm feeling the need for space, clarity, a little more fire. I need a fire under my butt to get things done and to stay focused on what's important and on what I need to focus on. And I know from the reboot that as soon as I stack too much in my digestive system, I lose that fire. That's a big part and component of it. So one of the things I'm doing is playing with intermittent fasting. This isn't like, I talked to one person and she said, "Oh, I can fast, no problem. I can go easily 24 to 36 hours with just water, no problem." But her challenge is being overweight. So it isn't a question of, can you just flex this muscle and do a max deadlift? The question is it part of your rhythm? Can you hit a rhythm with this so that you are reaping the benefits? If you did one max deadlift, lifting weights, and you did it once, you've hit a PR. But you haven't built strength until you can do it a few times and then add a little more and do that more times. That's how you build a muscle and you get results, is when you can incorporate it into part of the flow of how you live. So if any of you have been around for a while, you know that earlier, lighter dinner has been one of my challenges for a long time. But in the flow of things, I've been working it back. So it's more often 6:30, not eating after 7, except once in a very great while anymore. When I started this at least 3 years ago, like, dinner was at 8 o'clock as a norm. That was the regular thing. And meat and potatoes was the expectation, or, roast and salad or something. It was a big thing. And then I was doing dishes at 10 o'clock at night after I had the kids in bed, which it was kind of a race to feed them, get them cleaned up enough that they could climb into bed, just enough, and then try and get everything cleaned up. And that's when I started having things that were out in my back and all of these things that come from stress. And it was the stress of eating late, having then all of that work to do in a time when you really want to relax and stretch out and decompress and then go to bed. And so I wasn't going to bed until 11:30 at night. And that was just our norm. And that's why I completely ran out of fire. Like, that was sort of like dumping water on the cooking fire. every day. And you don't do that too many days before you don't have any fire. So no fire, no drive, no enjoyment of life. It was just like a daily grind of a to-do list marathon. So earlier, later dinner has been one of my keys to opening up all of that. Not my keystone habit, but it's one that I've been working on. And as I'm dialing it back, it's getting better and better. So with intermittent fasting, I have leveraged my phone to help me. I could use the timer because doing the math to figure out, like, if I quit eating at 5:30 or if I quit eating at 6:30, when can I eat again? It just wasn't happening. So there are a whole bunch of apps that are free, and you just don't need to buy all the stuff that they want to sell you or the subscription, you know. I just wanted a timer. So for whatever silly reason, but it works, I got an app and I tell it when I last eat. And once, so this is kind of how habits work, because now I'm accountable in my app and there's numbers happening. It's being objectively measured. I tell it when I start, and then I feel like, okay, now I'm on the clock. So it's way easier to just avoid eating, avoid whatever. I can have some tea, drink water, which is great, whatever, and it works. And then it tells me when my 14 hours is up in the morning. So when I hit the timer, I can start planning my morning already. And we'll talk more about in the next habit, and the next two habits actually, how to make your morning work better. So for me, I'm stacking a whole lot of things in by working on this habit more this summer. This is my goal, is to be routinely at 14-hour fast, which I wasn't too far off, but we're making it specific, measurable with my app, and hacking a whole lot of things. So I know it's going to happen. It helps me make sure. So the other part of that to call to your attention, if you look through your worksheets, is I'm overcoming some obstacles. So obstacles for me were losing track of time, snacking because I was tired, snacking because the kids were snacking, which is a bad habit for them, but is what it is, because Jim knows how to make popcorn all by himself, and so they don't even ask. I have a plan that's very concrete. So I'm overcoming a lot of things. The other obstacle I'm overcoming is clearly visualizing how it's going to happen. Start time, I know my end time. It's all very concrete to me. These are all hacks that help ignite your desire and help you overcome obstacles. That's the value of specific, measurable, concrete, all those things that go into making good goals for yourself. And that's why. So, at our office hours call on Saturday, I'm going to push everybody to be there. We're going to go at 8:30 instead of the 9:30 because it's getting to be spring and stuff's going on. So that'll be 7:30 for you, Alyssa. So it's not hopefully super too early though. You can bring your coffee. No judgment if you bring coffee. But bring your questions about early or later dinner. And we will talk about that and talk about what's coming up, what the challenges are, how you can use this habit to hack what you want. So I'm looking for how I can flow with ease. I'm using this habit to help create that because I know the space that I feel in my body opens up possibilities when I do this. And I'm making it easy to just have it happen by using all those hacks that I told you about. So, plus, I'm telling everybody that this is what I'm doing. I'm telling you guys, the Monday morning meetup in the Good Living group on Facebook, I talked about it there. I'm making it public. I'm making it known. That adds another layer of it's going to happen. So the universe conspires to help you do what you want. So when you tell it what you want, it will conspire to help you do that. I had a cold shower this morning, not on purpose, but because I thought the 5 gallons of hot water in the hot water heater we have right now would regenerate faster than it did. So the universe conspired to help me with my cold water challenge for the summer too. That's how it works, whether you want it to or not. So that's earlier, later dinner. I want to go back to earlier, what I was talking about with how everybody's feeling. I feel like we need to really call this out and address it a little bit. Getting clarity. If you think about what's around you, okay, back in the day, and I think all of you can remember, Alyssa might not, youngin', when you would have the AM FM radio and you had the little dial that you had to tune, and there were all these radio stations around you all the time. We still have it. In fact, even more so. Radio stations. Now we layer in all of the internet, all of whatever else there is. If you have Bluetooths or the Wi-Fis, you know, if you're driving through and you do a Wi-Fi search, and if you're even in rural areas, sometimes I could pick up 3 or 4 different Wi-Fis that are available. It's pretty crazy. All of this stuff that's available around you all the time. How do you access it? You dial it up on your phone. You open an app. You open your Safari or Google or whatever it is you have. You open Facebook. You have your radio, you tune in the channel you want. TVs, you get the channel that you want. You pick the Wi-Fi that you're going to work off of. Whatever it is, you choose what you're going to tune into. That's what this process is. Right now, we're in a VUCA world. It is, if I can get them all right, volatile, uncertain, it's chaotic, and it's ambiguous. And right now, the world is that in total spades. What you tune into is what you receive. If you tune into all that's out in the world, you're going to receive that. When you tune into your heart's desires, that's what you're going to receive. All of it is out there right now for you. It's what you tune into. And that's not to say that you're still not going to get bombarded with all that stuff. There's a lot of talk about protecting yourself from electromagnetic EMFs. Yeah, I forget what F is. But all of the waves that are out there, because they're all radio waves creating radiation, really literally assaulting your body with all these frequencies, because you are an electrical being that runs on frequency. So with all of that bombardment, sometimes it's easy to feel the frequency that you're being hit with. And right now we're being hit with the frequencies of fear, of confusion, of a lot of voices that are talking and telling you we're being hit with, I'm not sure exactly the right word, but a level of threat for all the military people. You're in always a certain threat con. And it's higher and higher. It's not exactly delta. That's what's out there in the waves, in the frequencies that we're being hit with constantly. So, and Alyssa, you're going to hear some of this again, and I'm going to talk through it pretty quick because so many people weren't here, and we're going to go in a slightly different direction with it at the end. But we're going to take a little time to go back and refocus, to tune in to what it is that you want. Okay. Change the radio station, close the app and open a new one. I'm not sure what else you want to call it. So we're going to go back and we're going to do, wrong one, right there. Talk about your cares, values, and beliefs again, because we're going to take them to the max this time. We want to isolate a little bit more the frequency that you specifically want. And last week, Alyssa and Amanda did a really good job of queuing in. But we're going to let everybody else catch up a little bit more. I really want you to take the rest of this time. It might be like 40 minutes here, and tune into this. So, start out with, and get pen and paper, get ready to pause and start. Take time to think. What are 3 things that you care about? These are things that you say, I love. The top 3 things that you really care about, really love. Just the top 3. All right, the next one. The top 3 things that you value. These are things that you would say, this is important to me. What are the top 3 things that are important to you?
You want to call?
Yeah. Top 3 things that you say, I care about or I love. And the top 3 things about which you say, I value or this is important to me. Lastly, end the stem, I believe. What are your top 3 beliefs? And I'm not giving you a lot of time because most often these are the things that pop first into your mind. If you say, I believe, what are the top 3 things that you believe in? Okay, now look at what you've got written. I want you to pull out, distill them down into 4 words. What are the 4 pillars? Maybe you only have 3, a 3-legged stool that holds everything up. What are the 4 or 3 main things for you out of that? And then circle the most main one. Or perhaps you have one, if you have a stool, one that sits on top like the seat that you rest on most. Okay. Next thing. Alyssa, did yours change at all from last time? I didn't have what I wrote last time.
Kinda. I don't remember what I had last time, so I don't have my notebook.
I have it written down in my other notebook too, so I don't remember. Can't help you. What'd you end up with this time?
I care about family, getting more sleep. I know that one's different than last time. And I didn't really have a third one. Probably just animals at the moment, but mostly fences more so than animals.
Well,
stupid roads.
We'll give you animals, and the fences are part of the animals.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Values are probably still about the same as last time. So family and friends have become a little bit more neighbors, I think, is more emphasis this week. As much as they've been in my space causing me stress, they actually have they've been trying to help. So I have to try and be friendly. So I mean, the one came and dropped off a hay bale, so I paid her for the hay bale, and I guess I appreciate that, but the horses have only, stomped it on the ground, so I appreciate the effort. She meant well. So, oh, Georgie. Yeah, I still value my space. That's still the huge one this week. Beliefs.
What did you? Yeah. What did you end up with your four pillars? Your 3 or 4 pillars. Your main thing.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Okay. That's okay. I know you're not writing it down, and so then it's tricky to.
Yeah, it's hard to like. George, I love you, but you're squeaky. Come on, buddy.
That's okay. All right. I love that. I want to come back to some of that. But the next thing now, I want you to list the things that you're doing. List everything you're doing. So all of these things out there, because I'm hearing a lot of, oh, I'm so busy. I've got so much going on. Urgent versus important. So many urgent things. Lots going on. Just take a minute or maybe 45 seconds, literally pause for as long as you need. List everything that you're doing. I was watching a workshop and I realized I could be playing really cool music during these times. So it's on my list to find some cool music to listen to instead of just silence.
So is that urgent and not important, or important and not urgent?
Everything. Oh, yeah. That would be just important, not urgent. Or no, just urgent, not important. We like our silence. All right. Now, looking at your list, put a star next to everything on that list that aligns with your 4 pillars and or your top 3 care value beliefs. Put a star next to those things. Put a light line, just a light one, through all the things that don't align with your core things. We're just doing a bunch of data collection at this point yet. Okay, now, deep breath. Look, I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to think about, what is your heart's desire? Not what do you think you can do? What do you know you can do? What do you most desire? In your wildest dreams, in your child's heart? What are the things that you most desire? Make sure they're I things, not necessarily, I want people to go and like take a long walk off a short pier. What are the things that your heart really desires right now? And then write them down. Okay. Next thing, now draw a line from the actions that you put stars by to your heart's desires. Which of the things that you do align with what you most desire and want? All right. This is where the rubber's going to meet the road again. Okay. We got our target, your why, which is your anchor, your bottom line, what you want to do. These are your actions, all that whole list. And then how is it going to look in the world? What are your measurables? How is it going to look once you have this? How will you know that you have it? So, your why, right down there, your main, the pillar that you circled, or the seat of your stool, however it helps you to picture it. Your main number one thing. If you want and you have your 3 or 4 pillars, you could note those in there too, but make sure that your why is firmly there. Okay, now your what's. You looked at what you do that aligns with your heart's desires. I would lay money that your desires and your why and your pillars line up pretty darn close. So the question is, what are small actions that you can do as you look at your list of things that you starred and that connect to your desires? Make a list of small things. So, you know, trajectories, right? You got a straight line, and then as you change the number of degrees, it shifts. Like when you're really close, you don't see much change. But as you run the line out, it makes a big difference. Even a 1 degree shift off of your horizontal line changes the whole trajectory of your line. 15% is not much. Right here at the crux, fulcrum, your 0 point, but it makes a big difference when it plays out. What we want to do is take a look with your what's that you're going to do. What are the small little things that you can do right now to achieve that why out there? We're going to bring simplicity and clarity to the VUCA world, to the unclear and chaotic and ambiguous. We want to bring simplicity and clarity. So what are simple, easy actions that will help you align with your why? If you've been through the habits before, you may consider those. For example, part of my why is flowing with life, which isn't exactly what I said last week. Flowing with ease, letting life flow with ease through me. I think I'm getting closer and closer as I talk here. With my earlier, lighter dinner practice, focusing on the intermittent fasting is creating space for things to flow through me. And the thing that's flowing always for me is life. So when I create space, then there's room for things to flow. So that's what I'm doing. That's my little tweak this time around, this time to focus. My small trajectory change. 14 hours is not long, especially not in the world of intermittent fasting. But it's a small shift, a few degrees that I know is going to have a big effect when we get out into September. So, what are 2% solutions, 15% solutions, little changes of trajectory, small things you can do towards your why and bringing your into alignment? Take a few minutes, write them down. All right. Now, how is it going to look? What will it look like? What are specific things that will help you know that you're doing that? Or how will it appear in the world? How will you know that you are coming into alignment? What will you have in your life? For example, with my intermittent fasting, what I want to have it look like in the world is more energy, possibly more consistent thyroid. I want to have more mental clarity for communicating with people consistently. So I have parameters set up in my goals around the consistency of my interactions, with the ultimate goal of adding more people so I can help more people in the fall and bring more people into our community. How does it look in the world? How will you know that you are in alignment with your why? What is the measure of success for you? Oops. All right. I know you don't have your paper, so you can't write it down, Alyssa. But on your target there, what were some of your small changes that you came up with? Your 15% actions.
Well, I took the initiative and started the goat fence the other day. Today, I'm taking 5 minutes, or well, half an hour. It'll probably turn into half an hour here, just to kind of relax and enjoy outside because it's so nice. And doing those things for Georgie's sake, because that's still kind of my why statement. Mm-hmm. So we're kind of just taking time today to enjoy the outside because it's nice out. Since we didn't really get to do that with the goats, and that made Georgie stressed out.
Nice.
That means.
Yeah, small changes. And you are lucky. You've got sunshine and you're in a t-shirt.
Right? It's the perfect weather right now. That's why I had to stop. I was like, it's like 67 degrees and sunny, and I'm sitting in the shade under this oak tree. So yeah, we kind of had to just pause for a minute.
Yep. Taking a break. So you all need to go in. Once you have all of these, let's see, I got to share a different screen here. You've got them written down. Hack the system. And I got to make this disappear. The sharing thing is not always easy. Hack the system. Go in to our Google Doc and write it down. Your pillars, your main why, your main pillar, or your, if you have it as an anchor statement, add your small changes, your results, and see, every time I do this, it's a little different in my mind. But anyway, your measurables, how's it going to show up in the world? How are you going to know that you're hitting your targets? And what do you want to see at the end? So take some time to fill it in. Even if you don't keep up through everything else, it's a good place to review. And once you have it in here, it's out there. And the universe will conspire to help you. This is how you tune your radio station into what you want. You get clear on it. You got to fiddle with the knob. And then turn the volume up. Because as soon as you turn the volume up so that you can hear it, The more people that can hear it, the better it is. So I'm going to be trying to remember to check back on that. If you have problems getting into it, because people have had trouble like getting into it and putting information in there before, let me know and we can do it. You can tell me and I can type, so not a problem. Also, monthly check-ins with me are part of the deal here, and sometimes they get used and sometimes they don't. But if you are just really having trouble getting clarity, and Alyssa has had the wonderful experience of going through this twice now, but give me a holler one way or another, because there's so many ways to get hold of me. There is no excuse for not doing it. And we'll just walk through it and we'll figure it out, because stability, simplicity, and clarity are how you move forward and how you move into who you're meant to be. Your heart's desires, that's like what God gave you when you were a child to help you understand your purpose in this life. That's part of your purpose. It's what your heart's desires are. They speak to that. So it's important and it's good. And we want to do it. And you have this monthly check-in. So give me a call if you need help with it. I mentioned our office hour on Saturday at 8:30, and I will post that link. The Google Doc. My other order of business, and I wish we had more people here, because, I mean, there's one. But this is also accountability partners. I feel like right now, everybody needs connection, but you need connection where you are, it's very specific. Pulling those boundaries to what's really important. Connecting with one person in the group is a good way to keep yourself accountable to your goals and help each other move forward. Stay focused on what's important and not get distracted. Anything outside of what you tuned into today, the things that align with your pillars and that especially align with your heart's desires off of that list, anything outside of that is a distraction that keeps you from being all you can be and achieving your purpose and what you were here for. So we super need to tune in to help each other this time around. So message in the group if there's someone specific that you want to connect with, reach out to them individually. If you don't have someone and need someone, let me know and we'll get you paired up. It doesn't have to be hard, okay? You can phone call with each other once a week. You could text each other once a week, what your main goals are, how you're going, what you're doing. Benjamin Hardy, this was a cool one, talked about how he and a fella he's accountable with, every night at the end of the evening, they send just text 3 things for the next day and a number. How many of their 3 main things did they get done that day? And Andrea and Amanda, we've talked about urgent and important things. So there are 3 important things, only 3. That's all you get in the day. 3 things that if nothing else got done, those 3 things got done. And, you know, cooking a big meal for the family that might be on your important list, it might also be an urgent thing. You sort through these things, but only 3. And then the number, 1, 2, or 3. How many did they get done in that day? I thought that was a pretty cool idea. Very simple, but it keeps you focused on what's important and what you really need to do. So you can do it in any way that works for you, but create a connection with someone that you guys can help each other stay focused, cut out all of the distractions, and just get done what you need to get done right now. Because the world would like to keep you in their fight instead of focused on your purpose and what you are supposed to accomplish. So, make connections. That's one of your homework assignments for this week, is to find yourself an accountability partner. And I will put all these and tag you all so you can all see each other, because we haven't had everybody together yet this time around. So you guys don't even all know each other, but that's okay. You can come on Saturday at 7:30 or 8:30 and meet up. That's what I had. Alyssa. Georgie's so happy today.
He is. He's been so smiley. He says, we're just enjoying the grass.
Yeah. Hanging out. So, Alyssa, did you have any questions about the habit or about what you're doing or how to make it work? Any questions about anything else today?
I think we're going to hit it hard this time is the goal. So actually get to earlier, lighter dinners this time on a consistent basis, which actually we've been pretty good about earlier. Lighter, I don't know, not so much necessarily, but earlier is pretty good. I noticed the other day when we were out having all this issue with the cow and the county, we ate late. And I was like, wow, I didn't even finish I had a $50 steak sitting on my plate. And I was like, I'm not even hungry right now. And it wasn't just because of stress. It was, I just don't want to eat this late. So I ate it for lunch the next day. And then it was good. Huh. You smile. Are you smiling? Are you smiling? You
That's a
smiling.
pretty amazing shift for you, transition. That feeling of in your body, I don't want this heaviness. I don't want this.
Yeah,
save it for later when I can really enjoy it.
Because I always, I mean, I've never turned down a steak, never in my entire life turned down a steak. And I was like, I love this. It was so good. But I was like, I don't want to eat this right now. It was very different. So
yeah, it's
working. Yeah, tell her all about it.
Awesome brag right there.
Tell her all about it.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, do you have any other takeaways or thoughts to close up with?
No, I definitely need to refocus, though. I've noticed there's been some slippage lately. Well, and I think part of that is just because of the stress level, too, of everything that just compounds. But I need to get that clear why statement again, and then make that a focus point. So that will help everybody, I think.
Yeah. It does. It's amazing how, because I've been really working the 3 important things, and that clarity is really amazing.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it helps you eliminate, well, even the 3 important things. Like once you have your focus statement, then you can just say, okay, does this help or hinder? And that's kind of how I've been weeding the house too. Like, is this important to me? Is this not important to me? If it's important to me, I need to find a place for it now, or at least find some place it can stay until I can find a place for it. If it's not important, I need to not be dealing with it right now, is how it works. So that's kind of, well, I heard that, sir. We might have to go. Maybe not.
Yeah.
You're not grumpy? Good baby. Sometimes he gets really grumpy. He gets really grumpy when he's wet. Not so grumpy when he goes to the bathroom. Number 2, but if he gets wet, all hell breaks loose.
At least he knows. Could make your life easier later.
That's what they say. That's what I've heard. So.
All right, cool. Let you go and enjoy the day and enjoy little George.
Oh, yes. All right. Good to see you guys.
All right. We'll